What a moment. The moment students at the Morehouse School of Medicine learned they were getting $100,000 to help cover the cost of their educations. $100 grand each. Jennifer Bellamy joins us. Jennifer, you talk with two of these students. I can't even imagine. They must be so stunned by this surprise gift.
Still are stunned, Cheryl. These are the moments that you really love to see, that enthusiasm and excitement. And this $26.3 million donation to students at the Morehouse School of Medicine comes at a crucial time in our country when you think about health care. The gift comes from former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg's Bloomberg Philanthropies. The money will help black students who are currently at the medical school and receiving student aid. And when you talk about health disparities in the United States and reports detailing the lack of access to care for some black people, and you see how important this gift really is and what it could mean for the future. Blacks often have higher mortality rates from various illnesses, and research frequently points to increasing the number of black people within the healthcare industry as a way to reverse those trends. We spoke with some of those Morehouse medical students who now have part of their debt erased.
I went through a range of emotions, from overly excited and joyous to very thankful. I think I woke up with just about everybody in the house.
It's just an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Just being so thankful to have some of the stress relieved of the debt that I have accumulated going through this journey of medicine.
Those students hoping to pay it forward. Now, each student will get $100,000. And to give you some context, a report from the Association of American Medical Colleges found in 2016, the average cost for 4 years at a public medical school was nearly $233,000. For a private med school like Morehouse's Meta, the average was $306,000. So that money will certainly go a long way for those students. According to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle, this gift is part of $100 million in funding being spread to the country's 4 historically black medical schools over the next 4 years. That includes the Meharry Medical College, the Howard University College of Medicine, and the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine. And this scholarship investment is the largest ever for the Morehouse School of Medicine.